Okay, so in this video we're going to solve an equation that contains two radicals, and so again our goal is to isolate one of the radicals, which we can see has already been done. On the left side, one of the radicals is already by itself, so we can begin by squaring both sides. And so on the left, that eliminates that radical, and on the right we're going to need to use the FOIL method because we need to multiply this expression twice, multiply this expression by itself. And so we're going to do the FOIL method, multiply the first, multiply the outside, and then of course do the inside and the last. And remember, when we multiply this radical by itself, we'll be left with just the radicand of 5x plus 1. So when we do the FOIL, multiplying the first, we get 5x plus 1. Multiplying the outside, we get 2 radical 5x plus 1. Multiplying the inside, we also get 2 radical 5x plus 1. And when we multiply the last, we get just 4. And so now we've got some like terms that we can add. Got plus 1 and plus 4, which add up to 5. And then we've got this radical and this radical. They're like radicals, so we can add the coefficients, which add up to 4. And so we still have 8x plus 12 on the left. It's going to give us 5x. We still got this 5x hanging out in the front there. 1 plus 4 is 5, and 2 of these plus 2 of these gives us 4 radical 5x plus 1. So now at this step, we want to get the one radical by itself, so I need to remove these two terms. So subtract on both sides. So on the left, I'll have 3x plus 7 equal to 4 radical 5x plus 1. And then I could divide through by this 4, but that's going to give me a fraction on the left side. So I will go ahead and square both sides now. And so on the left side, I'll be doing my FOIL method again. And on the right side, I'm going to take 4 to the power 2, which is 16. And I'm going to take this radical to the power 2, which eliminates the radical. Okay, so I can use the FOIL method on the left side, and I'll assume everybody's okay foiling those terms out. I'll have 21x plus 21x, 42x plus 7 times 7, which is 49. And then on the right side, multiply through by 16. And now at this step, I've got a quadratic, and so I want to get this equal to 0, and so I'm going to try to get 0 on the right side of the equation, which means subtract those terms from both sides. And so these guys go away, and that leaves me with what, 9x squared minus 38x plus 33 equal to 0, and so this quadratic we could do, we could use the quadratic formula, but I do believe that this particular quadratic factors, so we can do 9x and x, and let's see if we do minus 3 and minus 11, I believe that gives us the correct factorization. So setting each of these factors to 0, we obtain our two answers. Solve here for x and over here for x, and we get two answers. And then of course we have to remember to check. So let's start with 11/9. I'm going to plug that back into the original equation back at the very top before I did any squaring or rearranging. So plugging in 11/9. Let's see, 8 times x plus 12 equal to 5x plus 1 and then plus 2. Okay, so we've got some arithmetic to do under the radical. This is going to be 88 over 9, and before I can add this to 12, I'm going to need the denominator of 9 on 12. So 12 is equivalent to, right, these multiply to 88 over 9, and 12 is equivalent to 108 over 9. And same thing here, this is going to multiply to 55 over 9, but 1 is equivalent to 9 over 9, and then plus 2. So when I add these, I get 196 over 9. I add these, I get 64 over 9. So applying the square root, let's see, this gives me square root of 196 is 14, square root of 9 is 3, square root of 64 is 8, square root of 9 is 3, and to add 2, 2 is equivalent to 6 over 3, which gives me the common denominator. And so you can see when I add these two, I do get 14/3. So just some practice on our arithmetic in checking that one. And then of course we need to check x equals 3 as well. So plugging that back into the original for x. So let's see, this gives us 24 plus 12, which is square root of 36. This gives us 15 plus 1, which is square root of 16. And so it looks like that checks because 6 is equal to 4 plus 2. So in this case, both answers check. And we get two answers to the equation.